Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about issue number 2 of the High Republic Adventure series. Now, right off the top, if you guys are a little confused with what's the difference between these two comic runs. So we have a Marvel series just called Star Wars High Republic. We're on the 3rd issue there. I have reviews for those on my channel. And we also have one by IDW Publishing called High Republic Adventure series, and it's aimed at more of a young audience. Not that the Marvel one couldn't be read, I think, by a young audience. I think this one is just really specifically targeted that way. So in my first review, if you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. But I talked a little bit about my thoughts on the High Republic Adventure series, and I told you guys, let's wait and see where this goes before you go out and pick it up. It's not bad, it's just you don't need to read it day one. And I basically feel the exact same way now that we're into the 2nd issue. It's not bad by any means. I just don't think it's required instant reading for you guys. So if you don't remember from the first issue, we have 2 young Jedi. Really, we have several young Jedi by 2 main characters, which are Lula Terrasola, and I think it's Z-E-E-N, so Zeen Morala is what I pronounce her name as. Haven't heard an official pronunciation yet. And we are on a planet under siege by the Nihil, right? So we have kind of a young group of Padawans on one of their first real missions, and we have one of the locals on the planet, Zeen, who is actually Force sensitive, and her culture is not about that life. They are not about using the Force, so there's some kind of drama going there. And it's just really right where the first issue leads off, this one leads in. And what this series does provide, and I talked about it last time, and with all the comics, with all the visual guides, we're getting pictures and views of the Nihil, of the Jedi, of this era in Star Wars, and that's really helpful. And so to me, that's worth the pickup, because I'm a High Republic Star Wars super fan here. I make the content for you guys, so I'm going to obviously read it myself. But for even the casual fans, that's what you might get out of this, is it might help you visualize some of the characters, etc. However, I personally do not prefer this art style. So if you guys have seen the Marvel ones, there's some gorgeous art, seriously awesome, epic art of this era. This one has just a different style. It's not for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I could never even get close. I mean, this is talent. It's just not a style I'm a fan of. So even though I get to see characters and ship design, etc., it just doesn't really hit for me, right? Like it might for others. So that does impact, a little bit of my enjoyment. But I think the biggest thing, and I want to hear what you guys think down below, because I know a lot of you are enjoying this. And I am too. I just, again, it's one of the lower pieces of the High Republic content to me at this point. One thing that I think is against this comic, so it's aimed at a younger audience, obviously, so it's really not aimed for me. So I'm going to preface this. But we're getting a lot of stories with the young Jedi kind of coming of age or, thrown into this disaster. And it's just, this is one of the weakest of those. Right? So we have a young Jedi in a test of courage, right? Out on their own for the first time. That story was dark. That story went places. It's a book versus a comic, so there's more time. It talked a little bit about the dark side of the Force. It had, had that kind of draw for me. Of course, in Into the Dark, we have young Jedi there again, right? Kind of young, coming of age. I love Into the Dark, so obviously that resonates well. But we have young Padawans. We also have young Knights in the Marvel series, right? We have a young knight on her first coming of age story. So we're seeing a lot of this young Jedi learning their place. And of those stories, this one just feels the weakest. So it's like, okay, if I want the young Jedi kind of falling into their own, becoming their own, I'll go read Into the Dark, or I'll go read A Test of Courage, right? So that really could sum it up. Something interesting about this adventure series is we're seeing Yoda. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm curious what you guys think, because it is cool to see Yoda because he's old as heck, right? He's very old. And we know Yoda. We've seen him. No matter what era of Star Wars you're a fan of, you've seen Yoda because he's in the sequels, he's in the prequels, and he's in the original. And he is such a, a tying force between the Star Wars we know and this new era. But it's weird to see him for me. I don't know. He's younger. His art design's a little weird. I wonder what they're going to do with Yoda throughout, because they're making a point in this series to have Yoda included. He's got some Padawans he's with, and it's so weird. I don't know what to say better than that. It's weird to me. It's weird to see. I mean, he kind of, again, will help bridge the gap because he's familiar to all Star Wars fans. Doesn't matter what level of Star Wars fan you are, we all know Yoda. So I'm curious what they're going to do with Yoda in this. I'm curious if we're going to get any, cool kind of defining Yoda moments. But weird to me nonetheless. So you guys got to let me know what you think down below. I've seen a lot of comments, a lot in the community telling me that you guys are really enjoying this, and it just hasn't hit as well for me. Still like it. It's not bad, just not as good as the other pieces of content. So it's not on my required reading at this point. But again, let me know what you guys think down below. The channel, we're about 2 months in, and the support has been amazing, guys. Much appreciated. We've had videos that are on controversial topics where I still think everyone's been pretty respectful. We've had really good dialogue, really good likes and subscriptions. I'm stunned by the support, honestly, to this point. So really appreciate that, guys. Thank you again for stopping by. We will talk later this week, and who knows what Star Wars news will be breaking soon. So again, thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.